Welcome back to One Shot, One Quill Nightly News. We now go live in the field to our co-host, Ben Morrison. Ben, what can you tell us at the scene of the crime?
Yeah, Spencer, I'm looking here, and police have told me that this is a podcast in which you and I, the hosts, take listener suggestions of an item and a premise for a tabletop RPG one-shot, and then we mish and mash them together and create something new and usable, maybe. It's a real grisly scene here.
Scary stuff, scary stuff. We hope you're staying safe out there, and we are getting reports there have been no survivors.
Including me.
We miss you dearly. That concludes our seance for this week's Nightly News. Thank you for choosing One Shot, One Quill. Osak Nightly. That would have been good.
I want to get it right out of the gate, and don't go for Osak.
I say Osak to myself when referring to the show pretty frequently. Thank you all for joining us this week. We have...
I like one
we have a list of... Man, I almost got the show going. You're going to have to run that by me one more time. Unswunk?
One swunk. As in one S, one Q.
One swunk.
One swunk.
Well, we have 10 items for one swunk this week.
Right.
Ben, can you just want to make that happen?
Yeah. Is this the once or the wunk?
Ooh, deep breath, Spencer.
An 8.
A frog named Jebediah. When fed, he provides the bardic Song of Rest feature for any short rest taken soon after. Jebediah can speak, but can only say his name. Thank you, Brittany. I don't know what you're waiting for from me. Jebediah's a frog.
No, I get that. I'm trying to
a sweet nap.
Okay, fair enough. I assume this is going to go to Princess Frog direction.
Hey, only the next item and premise will tell.
You're right. Well, next premise.
We've gone out of order. I just realized we did the items first.
Oh well, this one is all wonky. We're doing a premise now.
Okay, let's do it. So we're gonna do item, premise, item. All right. What's the premise?
We've got a 6 for premise.
Okay. The city has a zoo filled with wondrous and dangerous creatures brought from far places. Just recently, some of the creatures escaped, and now there is a royal reward for recovering the rare animals unharmed. How can this be done? I like this premise has a rhetorical question at the end. How can this be done?
How can we do this? So we've instantly... I mean, I was very confused on how we were going to make Jebediah the talking frog into a quest, but just right here, right now. Well. Yeah.
He's like the missing puzzle piece. He's a perfect match. Now let's bounce it back to the items and hope we get the other perfect item.
So we do one shot, one quill now. We go item, premise, item, or item, premise. Actually, we should do an item, premise one now that I say it. That could be a fun, here are the items. It changes up how you think of it. Yeah. It definitely does. Our last item will be a 6.
A 6. Okay. This one's frankly tragic in the context of this adventure, but a Vorpal sling. On a critical hit, this item instantly explodes the head of the target. That was from Brittany, and that came from we were talking about the Vorpal sword item, which does the same thing. If you roll a 20 against a nat 20 against a creature that has a head, you just instantly cut off that head. Now, I thought we thought, wouldn't it be fun if you just did that with a sling and it was just a gun?
I got to be honest, Vorpal sling in any other campaign is real fun.
It is, because it takes such a shitty weapon, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to put myself out there on the chopping block. I'm sorry, sling fans. But yeah, it takes a real shitty weapon and gives you like a 5% chance that it's going to be really cool.
But in this one, I'm real worried about it's just going to be used to blow up the heads of some animals.
That's what,
some cool fantasy animals.
It's going to be kind of that break glass in case of emergency. Like, oh no, turns out we probably can't save everyone from the Chud Zoo.
Okay.
And it's...
I've got to ask this because this thought has just popped into my mind. You get some sort of chimera, like, head of a lion, wings of a bat, tail that's a snake. But whenever
B. Arthur.
But whenever you see these, like, the tail always also has a head. It's just the front of a snake instead of the back of a snake, because that's how they always work for some reason. Which head explodes? This seems just morbid, but it feels... I mean, multi-headed creatures are abundant in fantasy.
They are. And I feel like with the manticore... No, manticore doesn't have multiple, but the chimera, if you were to... I almost want to say the stat block has different attacks based on which animal is doing it. I think you would like roll a d4 or something and like blow up whichever head. But we're also thinking of this in the context of putting down the animals, and I think that's tragic. Maybe in this zoo there's also like poachers who are out to grab. This is their chance. They're gonna shoot up the animals and like cart off the corpses to the black market or something.
Spencer, are you gonna try to shoe in your old that old story?
Yes, the most original premise for a show I'd ever. It was gonna be an AMC original in college. Yeah, it was called The Poacher. It was great. It would have been great. It was one of my many ideas about the blank blanker. I've thought of that same hackneyed premise like a million times.
The chimney sweeper.
We don't talk. You told me you wouldn't. That was in confidence, but I never mailed that to myself. Now someone's gonna go steal that.
That's for the best.
But yeah, maybe there's other creative uses for the Vorpal sling. Maybe there's Hydra. No, that would actually be a shitty use for the sling. What are some other details we need to establish about this scenario here?
So roll the premise back at me again.
Yeah, it was...
I can't remember it because it was in the middle of two items.
A city has a zoo filled with wondrous and dangerous creatures brought from far places. Just recently, some of the creatures escaped, and now there's a royal reward for recovering the rare animals unharmed. How can this be done? So it's very important that I get the rhetorical up there.
You absolutely cannot use the Vorpal sling then. That's... Because then you don't get the reward.
True. But you may also be... Society may frown upon you if you fail to save a crowd of people that are about to be eaten by an exotic creature. I feel like there's going to be a... You forsake the reward for the moral high ground, maybe.
Maybe that is the crux of this one-shot, is every single animal that you come across. There is... And I mean, it's D&D, or any sort of tabletop RPG, so you have options. But maybe the whole thing is that you're kind of presenting this, well, there's a dragon, and if you climb up the tower while the dragon's chasing people, you can drop a big net on the dragon, but people will die. Or you can kill the dragon and save everybody, but then you'll lose the reward.
Yourself.
Oh,
that's true. You're
or
also
risk dying yourself.
That's true. That too.
Maybe dragon wasn't the best... best example.
No, but I think there's a good idea here though. Which we need to develop like a good guy bad guy scenario, or I guess a kill the animal save the animal scenario, something like that. Something where you got options for how to deal with each one of them. So you suggested dragon tower with the net mech up there. I like that. That could also apply to a chimera. That could be a manticore, anything that really flies.
Honestly,
work well for that.
I don't think it would work for a dragon. I think for a dragon, you've got to drop a big ass stone on it and just knock it out. You're not going to kill a dragon by dropping a big ass stone on it, but you might knock it out for a few minutes.
Or like maybe there's like a tower, like a watchtower that has gargoyles that are like you can tell are rubble's being knocked from the tower every time this thing stamps its foot. So you can tell there's a fissure. One of those gargoyles will easily come down on him. I think that'd be really clever. What if we had say it's like a city with a canal? There's like a Venetian riverboat tour going, and some kind of like behemoth or some serpentine fish creature, some aquatic creature is at risk of getting to them. What are some scenarios we got there? Like maybe you can drop some kind of river portcullis that like boxes it in
I was
something?
thinking, if we're going with this, premise where it like the intended solutions are either you piss everyone off and save the thing, or you don't piss everyone off and kill the thing. I think maybe it's like there's a bridge that you can collapse, or like a dam you can close or something, but then
We have a very Superman approach to saving the city.
yeah, well,
I could save that riverboat tour if I just destroyed the levee.
but like drain the river or block off the river or something that's going to be a huge deal for anyone living here, but could also let you trap whatever this. Why can neither of us think of a siren? No, those are under
Sirens could count.
They fly.
No, you're thinking of harpies. Harpies fly. Sirens don't.
You're right. Siren would work for that then.
Siren would work. Some kind of Salguin. You ran Ghosts of Saltmarsh. What are some fun aquatic creatures that aren't size colossal?
Giant octopus. Small octopus.
A small giant octopus.
Maybe a baby dragon turtle.
Yeah. Ooh, segue. What if we do a basilisk?
Okay.
Basilisk encounter has a lot of room for creativity.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a scenario where we could put a lot of people at risk, but it would be very easy to catch it. What about? Hang on, are basilisks immune to their own thing? Is that a thing?
Think so.
But it does say in Petrifying Gaze at the last line, if the basilisk sees its reflection within 30 feet of it in bright light, it mistakes itself for a rival and targets itself with its gaze.
I guess if it's specifically mentioned there, then I would say that it would work.
If we've established that a basilisk can hurt itself, it can petrify itself with its own reflection within 30 feet and in bright light. What if the make everyone mad but capture the creature strat is to petrify itself for easy capture? Because you can undo it. If you give it a greater restoration, you can undo it. What if your solution is to bull in a china shop it into a circus to get it into the Hall of Mirrors?
Oh, I was thinking a mirror shop, but yours is sillier.
And it pisses off everyone. No one's sad if one mirror shop goes out. Mm-hmm. Everyone's pissed if the carnival just got ruined. Or alternatively, you can try and fight the basilisk. Like you can take it into, I don't know, a dark alleyway or something where you can't see it, or you just blind fight it the way you normally do. What else? What's another monster with a lot of creativity room? I
mean, we said it earlier. There's like harp. Well, but no, I was thinking of sirens, wasn't I? Like the singing ones.
Yeah, sirens are the ones that come and dwell in water and stuff, and they sing you over.
Sirens seem like a interesting one for this.
Okay, so if we didn't use the siren in the city dam, I'm wondering what. Maybe the siren has made a run for the brothel. I don't.
Why?
I don't know why I just mistook it for a succubus, but isn't this... Well, okay, in a sailor's context, sirens and succubi are kind of the same thing.
Yeah, except
they're all sexy and they lure you in and then they kill you. Okay, so maybe it heads for the dock brothels.
Okay, I don't know what you would do with a siren that would piss people off to capture it, though.
So if your way to handle a siren is to deafen, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if your means of fighting it or saving people from it is to, rather than make everyone unable to make everything super quiet, you overwhelm them with a stupid amount of noise. So you deafen part of the city by I don't know, there's a bell smithy or something. And ringing it this close is gonna deafen a bunch of people in the lower districts, but hey, the siren can't get you because you can't hear it.
Yeah, I like that.
Alternatively, you could just cast silence on it, but that's not fun.
Alternatively, you could polymorph everyone into a woman.
You can also maybe cut I feel like a good trap mechanism would be to cut a treasured bell because a bell is more or less a suitable cage if it falls directly, like a giant bell falls on something. So maybe there's a big bell that hangs over like town square high up, and if you can cut it free, it'll drop down to the center of town. It destroys the stonework of town square. It breaks the bell, but it's a suitable cage to trap something for a minute. Like maybe that's another good way to piss someone off.
That's a good one. I do feel like we need to work Jebediah in here.
Yes, Jebediah is, I think Jebediah is kind of a friend.
I feel like we need to work both, honestly, both Jebediah and the Vorpal Sling in here.
Oh, man.
Jebediah, if I had to... I'm thinking Jebediah is just like the one that you find, and Jebediah is, as we said, this prince who has been turned into a frog. And he knows where all of the animals have gone. And
unfortunately, Jebediah can speak, but it's only his name.
Well,
he's a Pokemon.
Well, but there you go. You've got to either convince him somehow to lead you to him, or if you give him a kiss, he'll turn back into a prince. And when he's a prince, he can lead you to him.
Hang on. With the name Jebediah, he turns back into a prince, or he turns back into like a father of 10 with a long chin beard.
Spencer, why not both? Yeah.
Thank you, Amish prince. A Mennonite. He turns back into a Mennonite, and he helps you build a deck. This has legs. I'm trying to think of something that the Vorpal Sling can be like a creative solution. But I'm also thinking the Vorpal Sling really could be like a... You can either use it against the poachers, maybe the poachers are wielding it, and you have to, you know, that's why they're such a high risk. You know, like you're kind of racing to... Because normally bandits aren't a substantial threat in like any really low-level encounter. But if you've got some of them equipped with
that's
a
actually
thing
good.
that's a 5% chance to kill... That's a big... Then it's a race against the clock.
The Vorpal Sling's use is just some of or all of the poachers and bandit have Vorpal Slings as sort of last resorts if they think you're going to get the animals first.
Yeah. I'm thinking... So that could be clever. Then you have a recurring fight element one way or another. It's like even if you're trying to kill it or save people, you're kind of always going to have an adversarial... approach. You can always incorporate some kind of combat, especially if you're like trying to climb that tower and you got, you know, poachers racing up after you trying to Vorpal Sling your fucking head off, I guess. This is really just a gun brigade. They have guns is what these are.
I was thinking alternatively, you've got, you know, a couple big encounters that there are no poachers at. It's just you and the monster, and then you've got other encounters that are like a talking donkey that have already been caught by the poachers, and your goal in there is to get rid of all of the poachers before they can Vorpal Sling the magical creature to death, which they're not going to do.
They know you don't want it if it's dead.
They're not going to do unless they think they're going to lose.
Exactly. That's their bargaining chip. Okay. I like that. And anything else we want to flesh out on Jebediah? Like, maybe one of the head zookeepers is like, oh, Jebediah, he was... Maybe we've all been to a zoo, and there's like there's the animal that is a real renegade. He doesn't really even have an exhibit. It more or less visits everyone else's exhibit. At the St. Louis Zoo, it's the peacocks. They're just kind of there to walk around and explore the zoo as a fellow patron. I'm thinking maybe one of the head zookeepers is like, oh, that's Jebediah. He knows all the animals, and he's going to be able to help you find them. Like, you know, maybe that's what he's useful for. As for his short rests mechanic, I don't know if that's necessarily going to be useful in such a time-sensitive encounter.
What was his short rest mechanic? Oh, he's got the bard thing.
Him,
yes. Okay.
Yeah, he sings you a little song, and you get like an extra hit die off short rests.
I mean, I'm not going to come up with it, but I'm guessing you could come up with some use of the short rest song in relation to some D&D monster.
Maybe. You could also, I guess, change it up a little bit. You could maybe have it be that if you feed Jebediah, he's able to use the healer feat with his little song. Like you know, in like 10 minutes, it's able to patch you up.
He can cast
Something
greater
comparable to that.
restoration.
Yes. Yes, of course Jebediah can cast greater restoration when given food. I don't see any way that gets out of control quickly. Jebediah would be in the hands of like some holy warriors at that rate.
Well, but you're the first one to find Jebediah.
Oh, I see. Oh no, the Knights Templar are after Jebediah.
Nobody's fed Jebediah up until now. And then you feed him, and then everyone's like, holy shit, we need to get this frog.
All right. I think now is the time we jump to the names.
Yeah.
And if I may, fantastic beasts and where to find them.
I was thinking the poacher.
I would sue you if we did that one.
That's fair.
How do we feel about fantastic beasts? Is there a better iteration of that? Fantastic beasts and how not to kill them?
Fantastic beasts and how to get them back into your zoo.
Fantastic beasts and how to retrieve them.
Fantastic beasts and don't let them get killed by that sling.
Fantastic beasts and how to catch them all. We're trying to get sued by 2 different companies. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate it as always. Apologies for the audio quality on this one. I did just realize here at the end of the episode that I didn't have my pop filter because I'm a professional.
That's going to sound great, I'm sure.
No, wonderful. I had so many opportunities to realize that there were little bricks in the recording all throughout. Yeah, no, I'm very present, as you can tell. I have to turn my fan off when we record these, and it shows.
Yeah.
It shows. We want to thank the people, particularly those of you that have rated and reviewed us already. That is a massive help. We encourage people to do that if you haven't already. Do that on iTunes. It's a huge help. Thank you to everyone who has sent in suggestions. Ben, how can people do that?
Yeah, if people would like to do that, such as the Vorpal Sword or a frog named Jebediah, they can do that by contacting us on Twitter at DNDpod. That is DNDPOD.
We should also throw out a thanks to Kasoon.com and Bakab's Blessed Blog, both places where we've pulled some extra items and not items, but extra quest prompts to kind of pad out our lists.
Yeah.
Our theme song. Who did that, Ben?
It's Alla Tavera del Gugliere by Morgan the Bard.
Is that guy still alive?
Spencer, he's Italian. And I know we're 23 episodes in. I don't know how to pronounce that. I've been just saying it.
I thought you were going to pivot full steam ahead. Is he still alive? Well, he's Italian. Anyway, thanks for reviewing us. And
yeah.
It isn't. Did you know that 100% of people who are Italian eventually die?
Did you know that 100% of people who are Italian want us to redo this one?
Yeah, me too.
Again. We already redid this one once.
Arrivederci.
Mamma mia. That was a spicy outro.